How's it going?
It's excellent. How are you doing?
Good. So, if you don't mind just introducing yourself and where you're from, just a little bit about you.
My name is Gabe Fosse from Albuquerque, New Mexico, born and raised. I'm a flamenco guitarist working at the University of New Mexico and with the National Institute of Flamenco and with a bunch of other people all around.
With your group of people. So how did you get started?
Well, I just started by taking flamenco guitar class at UNM. That was probably almost 15 years ago. And I just, after a couple of years, I just kept playing, kept meeting more people, kept watching shows. And it still took a while for me to want to do it professionally, but I just kept doing it, and it kept building up. And then eventually, about 5 or 6 years ago, people started asking me to do stuff for them, and I think that's really when I started doing it professionally.
Yeah. And so, when you were younger, did you was that like an interest to you, or like how did that kind of come about?
Yeah, I really didn't know anything about flamenco. I started taking the class because simply I just wanted to be good at the guitar. I just wanted to be a good guitar player.
Okay.
And I heard everybody say that the flamenco guitar teacher was the best.
Yeah.
So I went to study with him, but I never honestly had the goal of being a musician or doing it professionally.
Yeah.
That's kind of just a happen chance thing, and I feel pretty fortunate for that.
Yeah.
Also, it's a very competitive field if you can really even make money in it at all. Once you start seeing what's out there, it's very competitive. You have to, I'm starting to see now, you have to constantly be producing things. You have to be kind of prolific and constantly getting stuff out there, trying to show people new things, trying to connect with new people, because you never know. I mean, and I could probably think of, a few people have changed my life because I met them, then I met somebody else, or I got a certain gig, or something, and you never know when you're going to make that kind of connection with somebody, and that's what you're constantly looking for by trying to reach out in the world and find more or find new projects to work on or whatever it is.
And I think that goes for any craft as far as artistry, whether it's like producing paintings or drawings or music or even dancing, just making those connections and making sure that they're like good relationships.
Yeah, it is. I mean, when you start out, you're trying to do anything or just get some traction.
Yeah.
But at this point in the game, I have to kind of pick and choose my battles. I do have to say no to people sometimes, either because I'm not interested or I just don't have the time to bring as much to something as I would like to, because it's really about it's about doing something quality and really working it out, polishing it, and being able to produce something that people are really going to enjoy, and that's what gets you attention. That's what gets you more work and all that stuff.
Yeah. So the people that you do, I guess, say no to, you did say that sometimes it's because you're not interested. Is it sometimes like more of a fit type of thing? Like you maybe learn more about their event and you're like, I don't want to put my name out on that because, maybe it's kind of contradicting to, I guess, maybe your image or,
There is moments like that. I mean, I'd say a lot of times, maybe there's just something I just don't like about it, or maybe they're asking too much for what they're offering or whatever it is. But, certainly, sometimes I would probably say no just because, I mean, there are people out there who want to get their face out there and they want to be renowned, and they haven't put in the work, and I honestly don't want to be associated with that, not to say that every show that I do is amazing, but we try and do something nice, something like polished,
quality.
so and I want people to more or less expect that, so yeah, I mean, luckily it doesn't happen too often, but sometimes you do kind of have to shrug away from people that might be just kind of trying to take advantage of you.
Yeah.
And I see that in flamenco a lot. I mean, you see people, I've seen it all the time actually, where somebody will produce themselves into a show where they'll have money to hire artists from Spain who are like A-list people, and since it's their show, they like produce themselves into the show. And I think, that's one way of doing things. Certainly, sometimes I think it's a little bit sketchy or kind of strange, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. Everybody's just trying to do what they can to get noticed. That's the hardest thing about a lot of things these days is being able to stand out in the crowd because there's just
definitely.
so much going on.
Yeah. And do you think that came, I guess, that mindset that you have, or that knowledge that you have now, did that come with just experience and just, kind of, the time that you spent within, I guess, this industry that you're in?
Mm-hmm.
Or did you ever have somebody to mentor you or, help you, give you advice or anything like that?
Right. Yeah, actually, I've been studying with the same guy since I started. He was the one who taught flamenco guitar at UNM.
Oh, okay.
They closed the section. He retired, but we're still friends, and I see him every week. He's from Granada. Amazing musician, amazing person. He toured the world for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I would also say, on what you were saying, the experience
Mm-hmm.
is very valuable, and in Spanish we call it afición. Like being an aficionado, knowing the difference between what is something and what is not something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think again when you're starting out, you kind of just want to get your name out there, get your face out there, and you want to work with people.
Yeah.
But once your ego isn't in the way as much, then it becomes more about what is the piece that you're actually doing and not who are the people in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, not to say name dropping can go a long way to getting people to buy tickets to your show.
Yeah, working with this guy.
Yeah, exactly. Or, whatever it is, but yeah, if I don't understand or relate to what someone's trying to do, I'm probably not going to be interested in it. And that really comes from experience and just knowledge of the subject matter.
Mm-hmm. And I guess sort of knowing your worth, and having confidence in your work or whatever your craft is,
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe that's a kind of, I don't know, like a hard part sometimes. That transition of maybe I'm a learner, but just being confident as yes, I can produce quality work and things
absolutely.
Like that.
It's hard and it's hard earned. When I started playing for dance classes at UNM, I had already played guitar for years, but I kind of was just quiet and I didn't want to tell people things either way, and I was overly humble, and now after 5 years, not all the time, but sometimes I'm like, no, that's not going to do.
Yeah.
It has to be like this, and there's some invisible line that you cross when you know enough things or you have enough experience where you can assertively tell that to somebody.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, that's good, or no, that's not good,
This is not working out.
nah. Let's just stop this whole thing right now.
So, for young artists or young musicians in whatever genre of music that they're playing, what's some advice that you would give them? Do you have any words of wisdom? Wise words of wisdom?
That's an interesting thing, because I was thinking about saying on Facebook or something recently, to all those people who didn't believe in me, you were totally right. But no, I mean, it's really hard to be an artist, and I would say all those cautionary things, but really, for myself, I never really thought that I would be doing what I'm doing now. and I almost wish that I could go back to my younger self and let him know that that I'm capable
Yeah.
of accomplishing these things,
Mhm.
you know, because I just thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. I never thought I could, be good at that in that way, you know, and so I would say there's a lot of self-determination, there's a lot of willpower and stuff, and you have to be honest with yourself, you know, if you're doing something worthwhile or not. You know? But also believe in yourself, you know, you really gotta dig deep and realize everybody has to learn. It takes time. It takes just little by little, just hacking away at it. You have to be very determined, and it takes a lot of time. But people should know that they're capable of great things, you know. And a lot of it is just having the patience and the willpower to get there, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Great. Well, I think that's all we got for today.
All right.
Thank you so much for talking.
Yes, you're welcome.
Great.